players. I probably should get it out of my bloody ears first. Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of the Republic of Players podcast. This week we are discussing what video games had the perfect sequels. Like a video game to my life would make the perfect sequel, but I think you'd have to die first. So that's not good.
we all have sequels after we die if you're a religious man, Pat.
Yeah, but what religion would you be?
Which is that's a topic for next week, Paddy. That's next week's topic. That's going a bit too deep now.
We wouldn't know what to do with ourselves. We've got a new overlay. I kind of got mixed up with the old. It looks better there on the screen there. It's not too bad. Ron's back. Hello, Ron. We just went because I had an annoying thing playing over and over again, so I thought, just better go live.
Did you go live?
Yeah, I went live. We're live.
Are we live?
We're live. Please don't say fucka bagga.
Damn it, Paddy, we told you.
That's South Park, right?
No, I think it was, what was it used to be?
Bo
Selecta, yeah.
Oh, brilliant.
Craig David.
Yeah, have you done introductions? Or?
Yeah, just kind of, not really. Ronan, how are you?
Well, this is episode, I don't even know what episode it is.
We're on episode 93.
93, my name is Ronan, this is the Republic of Players with the usual crew. Paddy, what's happening, Pad?
Sure. Not so bad. We have a new overlay there. It's a bit messed up, but I tried on the little time we had there. I know I should have been on it a bit earlier, but it looks not too bad, does it? Do you see it?
We're here. We're here.
I'm
going to open it up.
We're here. We look well.
Have a gander.
Don't we always?
There we go.
And that is Too Old for Game and Mr. John Fogarty. How are you doing, buddy?
Shrink.
I'm not too bad. I'm doing good. Kind of doing the same stuff I always do. Doing my course.
Chilling like a villain. Doing my course. I am back on YouTube. I've started a new Resident Evil series, which is going very well. Resident Evil Village.
Nice.
So other than that, it's just been normal, everyday stuff.
I'm looking forward to hearing about that game, John, because there hasn't been too many new games that I've been interested in, but I'm definitely interested in that one. So we'll definitely have a talk about that.
We will.
But before that, Pat Curley, what's happening, Pat?
Nothing much. Still alive and kicking and all that stuff. So keeping as busy as can be.
So just, I suppose, the first one is, how's everyone getting on with the whole country opening back up and things are getting back to normal? There's traffic on the streets. And
what's different? It's not different for me. Still stuck in Donegal.
Yeah, the only thing for me now this morning, I was bringing my son to school and we were literally outside the school and he goes, I forgot my school bag. Oh my God, what 15 minutes does in the morning.
I forgot my school bag. Well, son, that's what you need for school. You don't forget your toolbox if you want to go to work.
Yeah, you can imagine the teacher, where'd you leave it at home? Well, that's the place to have it. But it was just hectic. But no, look, it's good to see stuff is back up and up. We have a Penny's beside us. You have to book an appointment.
Reservations, to
get into Penny's. And trust me, I've tried to get in without an appointment. They do not want to see people coming that don't have
the Penny's bouncers are strict, man.
They are strict beyond belief. Like I literally felt like I was trying to get into
I'm
Mojo's
just like picturing like a 10-ton Tessie. Like just
no. You're not on the list, mate.
You're not on the list. ID.
But the list was like, they had a list and they were just using a highlighter to kind of highlight out names. And they were like, are you on the list? And I was like, no. I felt like I was getting into like a VIP club or something.
It's been that long. You're like, yeah, Jesus, I want to get in here.
I'll tell you what.
I haven't been kicked out in Zangos in years.
Just like my college days in Galway.
You get yourself 2 birds, you come back 20 minutes later, come on.
Yeah. And over the Supermax there with you. So yeah, look at it. It is nice to see. What did
you want to buy in Pennies? What are you missing? Do you have a lovely get up, but you don't be buying Pennies clothes? Come on now.
Exactly. You have to go Wish. Wish is the only way.
There you go.
Wish.ie.
Wish it comes on time.
We're making the Irish version.
Yeah. So I mean, I've been playing video games as usual, and I suppose we'll start with what we're playing section, or what we recommend.
Yeah, whatever.
Some people don't play video games anymore.
Going to Pennies.
So, Paddy, what have you been playing, or a recommendation, TV show or movie?
What have I been playing? The game is here on the. Just give me a second. I get it up here. Imperial Glory. Just before.
A guy that goes like this has far too many screens in front of him.
Yeah, no, it's because it was under the screen, and I can't
You're
remember
looking
the
at
name.
like across
I
the
can't remember.
horizon.
It's like the TV. I robbed the kitchen table. That's what I'm sitting on here now. And the kitchen table has 2 screens. It's got the PC here. It's got a mixer here. But
What's the kitchen? Where does like
the kitchen?
where
There
do
is
you
no
eat
kitchen
dinner?
table. We're a modern family. We watch a TV.
That's it. Dead right.
A
Dead
modern
right.
day
Microwave dinner.
No,
at
don't
the
be saying a
TV.
woman will kill you. It's a modern TV.
sorry. She's great. I
Yeah.
apologize.
I've been playing a game called Imperial Glory. Now, when I say playing it, I've been taking little turns in it when I'm in between work. But
Okay.
basically, what it is, I think I've talked
Or
about it
during
before.
work, you can say it.
During work, yeah. Basically, it's like an Age of Empires type of game. You start off in old Europe, and you have to develop your nation, going through the ages and develop through democracy. You develop your market trades, your sea routes, your land trades. You develop your armies, and you're trying to basically take over the whole of Europe in it. And it's a very good, engaging game. It's a lot of clicking, point and click, but you have to make decisions on what you investigate first. Is like you're going through research. So you're researching different parts. It's probably the same as Age of Empires. You're researching different parts as you go through the ages, and you can pick democracy or autocracy. You can go through all that kind of thing. It's a very good game. If you haven't played it before, I wouldn't say it's too expensive at all.
What's
to
the
buy
name of it?
What's it called? Imperial. Yeah, Imperial Glory. Isn't that what it is?
And is it real time? Is it turn based?
It's turn based.
Okay.
So basically, all the countries get a turn. So you go through whatever you have to do, and then it loads through all the countries. They make different moves on the map to see if they want to take over different parts of Europe. They also you can make you can do agreements with them to join their alliances, or they can go to war against you. It's very good. It's kind of like a pass in a few hours, kind of
It sounds like Crusader Kings. Has anyone ever played that one?
Yeah, I was going to say either that or like a mix between Age of Empires and Civilization.
Yeah,
Civilization.
Civ is definitely
yeah.
is more in line with the gameplay anyway.
I
Yeah,
have-
because I played Crusader Kings and it's very similar. You kind of take turns and
Yeah, it's I finished the game like 3 or 4 times, and I do love it. Like, every now and again, you go back to it because you can do it different ways every time. It also it's not just clicking. You can go into battles. So basically, you zoom down, and there you've got all your like cannons. You've got all your horseback riders. You've all that, and you can make strategies in what way you want to attack, and you can take over towns. You can buy towns. You can offer like barter goods to buy different things. It's very good game.
What you're saying there, going actually that it's like that kind of map turn-based thing, and then you go into a battle.
Yeah,
that actually reminds me a bit like Shogun. Do you ever play Shogun, where then you can actually go into the
Total
battle?
War.
Yeah, but Shogun would be the one I'd be
series,
that'd be the one I'd be the most familiar with. Would be Shogun.
Yeah,
It
I'm
is
playing
a very good game.
Warhammer actually at the moment. Similar.
Yeah, Warhammer's good too. What was it on the 360 version? That was like an Age of Empires kind of game. It was all battling like that. You're trying to take over the map as well. Can't remember the name. It was very famous. They used to have like live cutscenes and stuff like that in it.
Command and Conquer.
Command and Conquer, yeah, that was very good.
They got remastered there recently, didn't it?
Yeah, and it had your man in it that was from in Toy Soldiers, wasn't it? And he
Yeah,
was in,
had a few famous actors
Was
doing
he
the
in?
cutscenes.
Actually, he was in the really famous one. What's it called?
Talk about Tim Curry.
I don't remember. What's the biggest selling film of all time, except for Avengers?
Avatar.
He's in Avatar, isn't he? I think he's in that as well. He's got the weird mark in his face. Not really sure he's in a live cutscene of that.
Oh, he's Thanos. He plays Thanos. No, is that the same guy? Am I thinking of
Is it?
someone?
No,
No, I'm
that's-
actually thinking of someone different.
No, but I
Josh
think
Brolin
he's
plays
in it.
Thanos.
Yeah, no, it's not him. It's,
Very sure
I
he's in
don't-
it as well.
I don't know the actor. I know who you're talking about in Avatar, but I actually don't know who that actor is.
No, I think he's in that. What do we call
Yeah.
it? I'm all over the place.
Command and
Ah,
Conquer.
whoa.
Command and Conquer. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's Command and Conquer is a throwback.
I've kind of liked all them, them strategic turn-based kind of army. It makes you think about in a business term and stuff like that. It makes you think, like,
100%.
moves down the line and.
It's funny that you say that, Paddy, because you're talking about stocks. I actually recently got into looking at the stocks and stock market and investing, and
Yeah.
I'm now a member on eToro and put my first actually stock in last week. Bought Dogecoin,
Oh Jesus.
which is but like but the thing about it is for nothing. Like it's
Just you're using like a what you call it, a play account.
no, No, I actually put money towards it.
Oh,
I
did
put
you?
50
Okay.
quid. Yeah.
Nice. How's it going?
It's well, I bought it for 30 cents, like so, and it's not really going up. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, not the
But
moment.
also, Elon Musk came out and
Yeah, the
threw a
tweet.
little bit of a and
Yeah.
and that's the reason. Like it honestly, it is like buying stocks is like a video game.
Yeah.
Like I really I'm looking at the stock market now in a very different way than I used to before, and how businesses work. And you don't invest in anything like that, do you,
I
Paddy?
do, yeah. I wouldn't touch Dodge. Just being honest, I know
It's just as a piece of fun.
Dodge is definitely one of them ones that it's not even there's no
It was a joke.
Yeah, it's a joke, but there's no market cap on it, and there's like with the reason Bitcoin and stuff has a value, whatever, because there can only a certain amount of it can only be made, whereas Dodge was a joke and it's infinite amount can be made. So it's not they're one to be looking at XRP. Is one that could go massively, but again, you don't know. You're only going on
Ethereum is another.
Ethereum is a big one as well.
Yeah.
There's loads of them that
I know. I've done a lot of research. To be honest with you, I'm only investing in Dodge because it's funny. Like, do you know what I mean? It's
100%.
Elon Musk can literally say something, and the price of Bitcoin now has dropped. I think 9% since that tweet.
Because Elon Musk came out and said that it's not feasible
would
to
not accept Bitcoin
Economically.
Yeah, it's not economical
Or
because it's too,
environmental.
because it takes.
Yeah.
He's messing with people though. It's not.
Yeah, he's
like,
messing with people.
it's not
People
great
don't know
if
whether
he's
he's
doing it.
serious or not.
But sure, he's
but-
the great creator. Like, he created the whole hype. It was that tweet that someone said that literally the old phrase sent it to the moon. And then he says another tweet and it destroys it.
That's the problem.
The man has too much power.
Yeah,
The problem with stocks as well is you don't really know.
you don't know.
Buy the rumors and sell the news because
I mean,
you want
if you
to go
bought
on what's
Bitcoin at the start, people would laugh at
If
you.
you bought
Now
if you bought Bitcoin last year, it was at $5,000, and now it's up. I don't know what's on today. Probably 30
50
something.
grand.
Is it a 50 grand? $50,000?
Yeah, just under.
Yeah. So like that shows you what year on year can do.
Yeah, it's
but
crazy. Like
the only one I've been focused on really lately is XRP, because it's the thing with XRP is it is the quickest transaction between all the coins, so it's really easy, it's cheap, and the reason it's so far down is because governments has a lot of court cases against it.
yeah,
And once these
that's true. Actually,
once these court cases get thrown out, there's a good chance it'll rocket. So
yeah,
that's what I go
skyrocket.
for.
There was a court case yesterday. I think they won the first court case.
Did
I've
they?
done it. Like, honestly, when I get into something, it's hard for me to dig myself out. And it is quite interesting, like, because it's
definitely
so
It's an online
the future.
they call it the online marketplace, or the online gambling. Like it is a lot of gambling as well. You are taking
Yeah.
chances. But
The difference with gambling, and this is kind of what I tell myself, and maybe I'm wrong here, is you can set a cap that once it goes under that cap, you could just withdraw your funds.
yeah.
So it's not like you're given €10 in the sake of losing that €10. You're given €10, and if it goes under 8, you can withdraw them funds. So there is more control there. But obviously you're still gambling, because if you say you're going to hold out for the drop and hopefully that it rises back up again and it never does, well then you could lose out
pick,
an awful lot more.
points to buy in and points to sell out.
Yeah.
There's different things like that. That GME,
A couple of interesting ones,
AMC.
and while we're on the topic, I know we're a little bit off video games, but I'm thinking maybe of investing in some cinema line, because now obviously with cinema closed, the stocks are at literally nothing. If you purchase cinema stocks now and the next minute there's a massive boom in cinema goers, and I look at the stock market as a customer as well. I'm going to go to the cinema when it's open.
Yeah, for sure. I'm not sure what Irish ones are you can buy. I know AMC, which is an American one, but that's
Cineworld is the big one.
Cineworld you can buy
Toro,
stocks. I know AMC is booming at the minute today, but that's a meme stock, which is the same as GME. I got a few quid out of that, but I sold out of it like a while ago when I went up to its height, but it's higher today again. It's like there's a lot to it. There's thousands of hours of content.
There's a lot to it, yeah, but there's loads of information there, and it's quite interesting seeing the way the world works and how stuff can kind of change on a daily basis.
Yeah, we have a nice article about that actually on the Republic Players podcast that I wrote myself. Republic Players.
Nice.
WWE.
What was that?
It was about GME or GameStop.
Oh yeah.
When it went up that time.
Yeah, that was insane.
Pat's like, what the fuck? This is not gaming.
So in terms of, let's get back to the game, but that's definitely an interesting one. So I'm getting into it, so we'll definitely chat about that off the show. Paddy, you might give me some advice. Don't sell all your Dogecoin. No, the Dogecoin is a joke. Like, it's just I find it quite funny. Like, and if it works out,
Yeah, well, no, but that is done. But I'd wait for it to go high and just get out.
Yeah,
because it's hard
get
to
out when
just
it's
fall
hard.
out of again.
Yeah. John Fogarty, what have you been playing or recommend to the good folks listening or watching?
Well, the main thing I've been playing, there's two, but I'm going to quickly touch on one because it's actually a news piece, so I could talk about more there.
Do you know what? Will you hold that? I actually talk about the other game because I want to do you last, and then we can segue then into the news.
Giggity.
Perfect.
Don't mind.
For sure, okay? if you're going to do me last, then sure we'll go on to Pat now.
Yeah, Pat, what have you been playing?
I've been playing Gang Beasts with a few mates online. And
great game.
You don't
you
have
guys have played Gang Beasts before. I have loads of friends. Get away with it. Beautiful game. It's just so much fun. So it is. It's chaos, but it's good chaos.
Yeah.
And it gets so unpredictable because like someone could just trounce in one playthrough, and then the next playthrough someone else could trounce. It's basically the best fighting party game out there, I think.
It's frustratingly unpredictable.
Yeah.
It's
like kind of a Royal Rumble, isn't it? Kind of that style of just.
Except for you're not sure what your arms will do in the next segment. Come on, come here.
I have to say, I haven't played it in a while, and some of the new maps are great. There's one where it's literally an octopus that comes out and like drags you down into the depths of the water, which is horrifying to look at as your little jelly bean man struggles and slowly is pulled down to his death. But, you know, it's funny when you get your friend and do it to them, like just sacrifice them to this octopus god. But Gang Beasts is a lot of fun, and surprisingly another game I actually gotten into is I've gone back to Red Dead Redemption 2 for the online with friends.
Good call.
What a game.
And this time I've actually enjoyed playing the game because I have my mates there.
You didn't enjoy it the first time around, is that right?
No, I still think the gameplay is absolutely awful in my opinion. I do not enjoy playing that game, but the fact that I have my friends there, it's a completely different experience. Like, you have so much fun with them because you're just messing around. Like the first time we went in, we literally punched each other for like 2 to 3 hours, just killing each other.
Then we played the game.
Nothing else. And then it's like, oh lads, we probably should do missions. And like, we'll do missions. It's great crack.
I've always wanted to punch in the face for 3 hours.
Oh my god.
But that's the same with everything though. Like and again, I love Red Dead Redemption 2. I know you're not the biggest fan of its gameplay mechanics, at least. But you can play any game. And if there's I find if there's a multiplayer aspect and you have a chat, I think it can actually make it fun. Like I've played some terrible games in multiplayer that it's still just fun because even you're just having a laugh with your mates, and sometimes we're even making fun of the game.
That was definitely the best add to gaming. Was the online
Fallout
multiplayer.
76
online multiplayer, brilliant.
Oh yeah.
It's a great crack just having friends and playing. It revitalized a bit of gaming for me because I've been I haven't been replaying as much, just literally Genshin Impact, and then the lads all want to get together, and we got together, and it's just made things so much more fun.
Yeah.
You needed 3 months to download the game though beforehand, did you? It's a big game.
Yeah, thankfully I have it on disc, so literally that's most of it gone. But I was, funnily enough, now you should mention this, I was downloading the update, and the update was supposed to be 20 gigabytes, and it kept on going beyond 20 gigabytes. It went into 23 gigabytes until it was eventually downloaded. So I was freaking out the whole time once it went over 20. I was like, oh my god, what's going on here? This isn't right. Is my PS5 broken? Please don't.
Was it like 23 out of 20 when it finished?
When it was finished, it was 23.643 gigabytes out of 20 0.21. It was very strange. So it was. I was very concerned. But funny little story there. Yes.
Yeah. No, it's a great game. I mean, I loved it. I think Paddy was of the same. You were the same, John, weren't you?
Oh yeah, it was arguably now my game of the year, but retrospectively, I have finished God of War 4, and I do think that's better.
No, it was top class, and I'm glad you're enjoying it, Pat. I'll go with my game. before we give John the mic. So I have cleared a single, or not even a single player game, but a story game for the first time in a very, very long time. I cleared
Nice.
A Way Out with a good friend Damien, a work colleague of mine, and we really, really enjoyed that game as just a kind of a different, cool multiplayer experience that has really good action scenes and production value and a really good story. Definitely recommend picking it up and playing it if you haven't, because I was, pleasantly surprised that it was as good as it is. So I would definitely recommend. Did anyone clear it?
No, I know
No.
what you're talking about, but it's the 2-player game. But I never got it. No.
I cleared
Yeah.
it in one day, I think it was.
Yeah, it's short.
Yeah,
It's like
short.
6 hours long, which makes it good, because when we actually did it in 2 sittings, which was brilliant for us, because you can experience it really quick. We don't have to sacrifice a lot of time, and you get to experience it like nearly it's a movie, and very, very good. Now I really enjoyed it.
No, it's definitely an enjoyable game. It's old enough now. It's like a few years old, isn't it?
Yeah, they have a new one out, which was It Takes Two. And
Yeah.
we're going to be playing that one soon enough as well.
I'm surprised they haven't taken off more. That a few more comes out, because they are very short. I'd say they can
Yeah.
be made fairly handy enough now.
They
compared
had
to-
Brothers, A Tale of Two Sons was before A Way Out.
Yeah.
I don't know whether you ever played that one. But
No.
that was a pretty cool game where it wasn't 2-player, but you used 2 players on screen with your 2 analog sticks.
Yeah.
It was quite
Yeah.
interesting.
I think it's good the way you
Um,
have to kind of work together, and you can see things from different perspectives, and
Yeah,
it
I
makes
found it
difference to what
nearly. I
the
was
person
looking
does.
at. I was found nearly. I was looking at the other screen just as much as mine.
Bring you back to your old Halo and GoldenEye days, just looking over.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
screen.
definitely. I would. I'd recommend 100% checking out. I really, really enjoyed it, and there's a nice kind of sense of completion, because now games, they're always kind of that continued game. The likes
Yes.
of Escape from
DLC
Tarkov,
and-
it's never ending. There's games out there that I play, sports games, but it's nice to have
It
some
has to be
sort
said
of
that they should
finality.
really bring back short story games. Be enjoyable.
Definitely.
Get you in depth in the story and let you go
Oh,
again.
well, there's one I might be talking about.
Yeah.
very soon.
So, John, what have you been playing? It is in the news as well, so a lot of talk about it this week, and I'm quite interested in hearing about it.
Yeah, so very quickly first, the first game I was playing, just to get out of the way, before
Binding of Isaac. Okay, fine.
no, before Resident Evil Village dropped, I actually randomly I turned on my Switch for the first time in I'd say about a year and a half,
Nice.
and a game I probably owned for a long time but never really properly played it, but got a good few hours into it, and I'm really enjoying it. Is Zelda Breath of the Wild finally?
Oh, dude.
It's what I love about the game. Again, I'm going to be quick enough on it, but what I love about the game is just
Nothing.
literally how they just drop you into the map
Yeah.
and are kind of like figure it out in a weird way, because like you drop in, you meet this old man who's like, hey, you've been asleep for a while, here,
Yeah.
go to these 4 things, I want you to find your own way there. And you're like, okay, and then like you run up against like an enemy and you're like, wait a minute, what am I supposed to do here?
Yeah.
And it's literally you're just kind of learning just by
Taking up a stick and beating the crap out of him with a stick.
you have to get there, so figure out how to defeat this enemy. And it's just like it's like tutorializing you without tutorializing you, which I really liked. And the funny thing is, like, we'll say like I was about 2 or 3 hours into the game, because I was mad just off exploring and stuff, before I got to the village that teaches you how to fight. And at that stage I had already fought so many things, but there was stuff like I didn't even know I could do a backflip. I was literally just running up to them. I wasn't even locking on. I was just running up to them and hitting them with the stick and then running off. And then running back in, hitting them with the stick and running off. It was like, oh, there's an actual fighting
Is
mechanic.
it an actual stick or was it a sword?
No, it was a stick. Yeah, it was a stick.
Fair enough.
You can get like a farmer's fork. You can get loads of stuff. Like everything. It's,
Yeah.
Are
it's
you wearing
crazy.
like an American baseball t-shirt? Or am I wrong?
No. Well, technically.
Yeah. it's
Oh,
a baseball.
cool.
Oh, yeah.
It's like a zombie one, is it?
Yeah, Negan. But no, it's very fun. It's very relaxing because you're literally just running around, and it's a game you can take at your own pace. But the other game I'm playing isn't that relaxing at all.
Okay.
So this is segued into our next section about Resi Village having a very good launch.
Yeah. You can read that news after you talk about the game if you want, John. Since
Sure.
You're going to be talking about the game.
Well, actually, I'll just read it now, kind of a segue
Perfect.
into it.
Go for it.
Resident Evil Village ships over 3 million copies, Capcom has shipped over 3 million copies of Resident Evil Village, the company has announced. In the UK, Village is already the second highest UK boxed debut this year, beaten only by Super Mario 3D World and Bowser's Fury, and has set franchise records for concurrent players on Steam. A few points for comparison, Resident Evil 7 has shipped. It's too small over there. It sniped it. And it shipped 8.5 million units of the 31st of December 2020. 7 is the biggest selling entry in the series and second best selling Capcom game ever. Bested only by Monster Hunter World, and Resident Evil 2 Remake has managed sales of 7.8 million since it went on sale in January 2019. So yeah, game is selling very well. It's been out for a week?
Yeah.
It's very good so far. The way I'm playing it, which is kind of strange, is I'm playing because I'm recording it as I play, and it's going up on my YouTube channel, like my first experience. And I'm playing it on hardcore immediately. Nice. I'm not going from standard straight to hardcore. I'm starting on hardcore, and I've watched a few people play this on stream,
fun, right?
on stream and on YouTube, and everybody's playing it on standard. From everyone I've seen, I'm the only person who's originally playing.
Whip it out, John. Whip it out, Measure.
On stream
Come
or
on.
On video, playing on hardcore. And what I will say is, it's so far it is like tough, but it's not impossible. Do you know what I mean? From the hardcore setting, I think it's actually a nice balance. But if you played Resident Evil 7, you kind of know the atmosphere you're getting into. Just very, very kind of spooky, great sound design. Like literally, you'd be walking through, like, it's first person. If you haven't played Resident Evil 7, by the way, so you'd be walking through a forest, and like every single little noise, especially if you're wearing earphones, will make you kind of go, "Oh, what?" And they do that thing where they drop in ambient noise all the time. Like you hear like a or like a freaking a bush being stepped on or something like that. And it just infers dread into your like heart. But it's like Resident Evil 7, it's all about like
it's
actually
a continuation
like a weird...
of Resident Evil 7, isn't it?
Yes, you're playing again as Ethan, the same character from 7. And like this is literally, I'm going to say stuff from the very start of the game. It's 3 years later, and you're now living in a European village, and things go awry. I'll leave it at that for
Is it Kip McCann in County Donegal? Because it's a Kip.
Things go awry. It's like a weird mixture of Resident Evil 7, Resident Evil 4, and Bloodborne. Legitimately. There's some bits that feel like Bloodborne, like a Souls game even. What they do a lot in the game, which I know was Resi as well, but there's a lot of, you're in a house and you go through a load of rooms, there's a door that says it's locked from the other side, and then you work your way back around and you eventually get back to that door to where you were, and it's all just a really intricate level design. Nice. That kind of reminds me of like Dark Souls, and just the aesthetic would bring me towards Bloodborne because it's gothic horror. It's all castles and bats and werewolves and vampires and horrible spooky things.
That's cool. I didn't expect that. Now I thought there was going to be some connection to 4 because that was, essentially a village, and
definitely like 4 as well.
Okay, nice.
You can some enemies you can shoot like their legs to make them hobble down, and like that kind of stuff, and like shoot stuff out of enemies' hands. Which
7
is very
wasn't
Resident
as
Evil 4.
Action, was it? Was
no.
7 as action packed?
Yes, 7 wasn't as action packed. They even said that going in, like the Capcom have said, and I don't agree with half of it, but they said they didn't want it to be as scary as 7, but a bit more action packed. And I don't know, I didn't find 7. I didn't find 7 too scary.
I think scary is subjective, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it definitely is. But like 7 is definitely a very immersive game. Like it can, if you're very into it, the first time you play it, like it gets a little bit less scary, but it's it has.
I agree with you, but I think 8 is very immersive as well so far.
Yeah.
And what I will say is, what I was kind of leading into it. I've played probably about it's allegedly an 8-hour to 10-hour game, and I've played about 6 hours, and I'm still basically in the first main area.
I think it really depends on how fast you figure out things.
But not even that. It's not even how fast you figure out things. And I will hand on my heart. And if you want to, you can watch my recordings as well. If you ever
I can't
want
watch it until I play the game. Sorry.
I get that as well. But like, there are some sections where like, and I edit it, but like there are some sections where I'm stuck on a part for like 20 minutes, and then it's like, oh sugar, I actually just didn't see that there was an item over there.
Yeah.
But it's not even that. It's just that the way I play these games, especially on hardcore, is that I check every room like 5 times.
That's
just
the thing
to
with the
make
Resident
sure.
Evil game. You're really supposed to, though, aren't you? It's a lot of
Yeah,
stuff to figure
you
out
are.
and find out stuff. Like I find me playing Resident Evil 7. The first time I played it took me way longer than it should have, and then the second, third, fourth time, fly.
Oh, I'm gonna fly through it because I know where everything is. I'm gonna fly through it the second time, and I will play it a second time. But no, so far, like I to give you an indication of how early onto the game I am, I still only have a knife, a pistol, and a shotgun, and I've played this game already for about 6.5 hours.
You're getting your money out of it, John.
I am, and it's funny because everyone else has it like cleared by now.
How much are they? 70 euros or 80?
About that, yeah. I think it was like 69.99 or whatever it was for the standard.
Is there any other game that can get
Giggity.
away with that for only a 10-hour game? What else does it?
For what? Sorry.
For a 10-hour story game. Is there any other games that do that?
10 hours depends how you play it. But it's I pay for quality more than quantity.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's a good call too.
Because
The
like
way out is 6 hours.
again,
Yeah.
and like so I
That
so,
wasn't
like,
that wasn't a 70-euro game though.
No, it wasn't
No.
actually. No,
Like
it
a
wasn't. I think it
35 or
was 40,
something.
wasn't it?
Yeah,
Or
something
40,
like
yeah,
that.
you're right.
but like and also by the way, Resident Evil 8 is played in HDR. I don't think it's full what it could be because they released it for PS4 and PS5.
Yeah.
But full HDR, I don't know if it's 4K because I'm not great with that, but it's HDR. I know that. It looks amazing. It looks absolutely phenomenal. The locations, everything so far.
I wonder
And
how it would be in VR.
oh, I'd say it would be fantastic. I don't think I could
Scary.
do it. There's a section at the start, just after the opening section, that you're walking through a forest, and I was absolutely crapping my pants. Like it's freaking
Literally
it's
stank the place out.
it's the atmosphere is freaking insane. But no, I absolutely love it. And again, it's and what they do with what kind of Resident Evil 4 as well. Like they have the merchant now, which is very much the what are you buying, what are you selling guy, but he's a different dude.
Wow.
And he even says it at one stage. He goes, "What are you buying?" Sorry, it reminds me of something an old friend once said.
Nice. That's very Metal Gear or something, isn't it?
Yeah, but the way they do it this time is that you basically craft everything. It's actually got a whole new proper crafting system in it, which is
What
cool.
are you crafting?
At the minute, I can craft mines, I can craft shotgun ammo, I can craft pistol ammo, I can craft.
It's always the shotgun ammo. You have to craft the shotgun ammo. It's like
I can
Blow
craft
their heads off.
I can craft the herbs, and I reckon there's probably more stuff because I'm at the start of the game, so I've only got the first tier of stuff that he sells. You have to buy blueprints off the merchant to be able to craft the thing, and then you also find stuff like in Resident Evil 4. Like, remember there was always the things in the trees, like the glowing, like gems and stuff,
Yeah.
and you shoot them and the gem falls down. That exact mechanic is in Resident Evil 8.
Are you afraid now doing a hardcore mode that you'll come across a boss and you won't have enough ammo and then you can't go past and then you'll have to start the game again?
I do, Paddy, but then I remember who I am, and that's never happened before.
What was that other game that happened to me on what was that horror game you were on about before, John, as well?
That was,
Evil Within?
Evil Within.
Yeah. I got
Yeah.
stuck. That happened to me. I literally got stuck in the basement, had no ammo, couldn't go back, couldn't go forward. Game over.
Well, you see, technically, like, and I know you're saying, oh yeah, that, but like they do give you the knife, and technically you can do it with the knife if you just want to do it for the next 2 and 3 hours. Do you know what I mean? And then eventually you will do it. Like that's the way it is with Dark Souls. Sometimes it just takes a long time, but you will do it eventually. But
I always find bosses in Resi games just like super OP. So you're literally just trying to use every bullet you can to stop them.
Yeah.
I can't imagine doing
And
any
if you
of those.
miss one, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
You just missed one.
Yeah.
Damn it!
I can't imagine doing any of those bosses with a knife. Like that just sounds.
That's not a
I've-
knife. This
that
you
sounds
can
a
do
knife.
some of them.
Oh.
Maybe not some of the later on ones, but I've seen people do like some of the bosses I felt are just like no spoilers or anything, but they're just kind of people, kind of like the Baker family. Do you know what I mean? And like you can literally like, go swipe, run around, run off, run away from them, block their attack or parry them or whatever, and then go swipe,
Some of
run
the bosses
around.
in Resident Evil 7 were hard, especially the
Yeah.
family.
Oh, definitely. And so far they've been hard. And exactly what you said, Ronan. So far, every boss I've come across, I get to a point where I'm like, I'm feeling good. I've got 2 med kits. I've got loads of ammo. And I'm ready to go. And by the time the boss is over, med kits are gone.
Yeah.
I've got about 3 bullets for the pistol and the knife. That's all I've left after the boss.
But isn't
and, like,
that the core of Resident Evil? That survival feeling and just
It's
trying
kind of
to
core of a
save
horror
everything.
game, isn't it? Really.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the great. I like it because you get a bit big for your boots when you start getting on a trail and like, oh, you're killing the stuff easily, and I have loads of ammo now. I like the boss battles bringing you back to baseline, and then you have to go and scrounge for
I
stuff
have to
again.
say, a horror genre is probably one of my favorite genres of games. I love the survival horror games, to be honest.
And this is gothic horror, which is, I mean, Bloodborne is probably my favorite game ever made. So
And I hear it's the new Pornhub, and then everyone's going mad about this big one.
how did they go this whole time without talking?
John,
about
I thought you were sweating there talking.
Demetrescu.
I must not
I'm
talk
telling
about
you
madam.
that. I'm telling you that. Lady Demetrescu, like, obviously she was the freaking meme of, like, when the demo came out, and the tall booba woman, like, she's just like, but like,
The
I swear
smell
to
I
God,
want of the game.
when you see her in the flesh, when you actually see her in the game, and she's freaking massive. She's just like, you're actually like, oh no. She's actually really threatening as well. She's a lot more threatening than you'd think. But it's just, she's great. I love Lady. I love Lady Demetrescu. She's great.
Doesn't take much to send out CUNY that way anyway. Oh, just stand on me.
No.
It'll be the number one selling point for Resident Evil 8 VR, let me tell you. Being able to actually look up on her.
Just out of curiosity, John, like, I know she's very tall, so like if you go into through a small door, can she follow you, or like?
Yeah, she goes in like this and like hat first, and she's like, "Hey, what the fuck? Sorry, what are you doing in there?" She does. Yeah,
like, what is she? Is she trying to chase you? Like, she's obviously evil, is she?
Yeah, she's basically
Conehead,
Mr. X from Resident Evil.
Oh, so she's just
remake.
constantly after you.
Or be man from the Baker family. He could be anywhere, and he's kind of just walking around, and you have to kind of just avoid him. And
So is she quite like? Is she quite scary, or?
She's all right. I haven't actually, like, you'd be surprised how far back in the game I am.
Is she a big teddy bear? You don't
Like,
cuddle her.
I've only come across her. She's only roaming around the main area now, and she's a big teddy bear, by the way, Teddy. But she.
And does she only appear like during certain sections, or can she just appear anywhere?
I think now she's. And by the way, we're just talking about the castle. The whole thing about the game is the castle is only the first area. I have to get to the castle, then there's like the fortress, then there's like the swamp bit. Like, they've told me there's 4 areas I have to go to. So I'm still only in the first proper area.
That sounds terrifying.
So
The
she's
swamp.
only going to be around. She's only going to be around. Like, we've already seen, like, there was a cutscene that shows me all the main bosses. And there's like,
John doesn't like spoilers. Here he goes.
I'm just saying. I'm not saying. I'm just saying. There's like, all this is like half an hour into the game, but like there's 4 different sections. I'm only on the first section. So like, once the castle is over, and I haven't finished the castle, I'm assuming Lady Demetrescu will probably be,
done and dusted.
No more, I assume.
Okay. No, I'm looking forward to playing it. I think it definitely looks really interesting. I think I'm even looking forward to it more now that you said that. It's a little bit more action packed. I love 7, but I do like the fact that they have changed it up a little bit, and it didn't just do a kind of a revamp of 7 and another house, or they went for the full in a kind of, it is a city, is it, or just a castle? Is that what you're saying?
No, there's a village. Like, I
Oh,
started
village.
off,
So it's literally called village, isn't it?
Yeah, I started off in a village, and the village
City.
the village went to a castle. I'm in the castle now. They have me trapped in the
You're
castle.
developing
and
the village into a city.
There you
I'm-
go. Yeah.
Yeah,
City
and
builder.
once I'm out of the castle, I'll probably go back into the village and go to the next place.
Okay. Oh, it sounds
So
really
it's worth
good.
the money, John.
100%. And like, again, I'm still about, like, I've played like 7 hours, 6 hours of it, and I'm still at the start, basically.
Deadly.
What'll happen now is you'll end up finishing and you'll be like, what?
Yeah, it'll just end abruptly.
Yeah, it's like, oh no.
You're reminding me of The Outer Worlds, John. You're like, it's massive. Like, you can see like loads of different planets, and then the next week it's like, yeah, you couldn't even visit those planets.
No. I know. Again, we'll say, I watch other YouTubers that play video games because it's what I like to do. It's what I like to do.
You're sick.
We'll say like Jacksepticeye, right? He's on episode 7 at the moment, and all his episodes are like an hour and something in. I don't watch him. I only watch as far as I've played, and what I'm at is halfway through his episode 2.
Okay, nice.
Which he got to in about 2.5, 3 hours.
Yeah.
I'm there with like 6, but he's playing on standard though.
Yeah.
Jackson.
Who's he? No, but fair play. And the hardcore, that definitely appeals to me.
Is this
as
going to
well.
be
I do-
one of them, what are they called? Time trial games, whatever they call them.
Oh, definitely.
Speed
I can
runs.
actually, I can actually see it. Like 100%, it's going to be. There's people already doing it, I'd say. Last thought, highly recommend it. So far, it's the best game I've played on the PS5, and I'm including Demon's Souls on that because if you've been watching, you know, I was a bit meh on Demon's Souls, which is surprising. Anyway.
So speaking of PS5 and PlayStation, PlayStation is now partnering with Discord, the popular online communication service, with a promise to bring the Discord and PlayStation experience closer together on console and mobile starting early next year. This is quite an interesting one because only recently we talked about Microsoft purchasing Discord.
Yeah, they
So
didn't
that's
purchase
after
them.
obviously falling through, is it?
Yeah, it fell through there.
Oh, that did, yeah.
We said that a few weeks ago. It fell through, but I think these are just partner with them, aren't they?
Yeah, but that's brilliant, isn't it?
Yeah, it's good. I'd like to see how they're gonna. Is it in there yet? No, nobody's noticed. It's not on it yet, is it?
No,
I haven't seen it, and I've been on the PlayStation, so I don't think it's in yet.
the story says details on what that would actually entail are slim, and Sony's announcement just says that the two companies are hard at work connecting Discord with your social and gaming experience on the PlayStation Network.
Like you've got
Whether
this
that means
story.
a fully
you've got-
fledged Discord app. What's that?
I'm saying you've got this story coming out on this side, and then you've other stories saying that Sony's charging everyone for cross-platform for like they're absolutely abs for monstrous money for the likes of any game that Fortnite are in that wants to come on and be cross-platform. So like if they're
Wow.
not really making sense.
Whether that means a fully
Well,
fledged Discord app comes to PlayStation
different.
consoles or a more limited integration,
Kinda.
like connecting PSN and Discord accounts to more easily chat with friends off platform, has yet to be announced. So, I mean, it's still whether they're buying them or a partnership, I think Discord on the
Yeah,
That'd be awesome.
platform is really interesting.
Like
Well,
it's-
I'd say sorry. I'd say just what you were saying, Paddy. In my opinion, I just think it is a bit different because they don't want like the crossplay thing is because they don't want you playing. Like they want you to be on the PlayStation when playing
want
their
you to buy
games.
their system.
But Discord, who cares? It's easier for people to talk to you on, so that's not affecting their bottom dollar if they partner with Discord in that sense.
I know, yeah, but the reason they're doing that is for Discord for people to cross-platform. Is it not on PCs? Would that not be the main reason to have Discord on it?
Probably because it's a better chatting system
Yeah,
than what they
better
already have on the
system altogether.
PlayStation.
You think it's better than PSN?
Yeah,
PlayStation
Chat,
5's
yeah,
voice
probably, yeah.
party thingy is
especially if they video chat on
absolutely
it.
shite. It's really bad. It's
Yeah.
so bad. Like trying
It's
to
got
actually
better, though.
connect with
Like, it's not unworkable.
No. This we when we first started to play with my friends now, some of us still have PS4s, so we were trying to get everyone together to just literally have a conversation. It took like literally an hour to sort it all out. It's really not well done. Trying to get
It's not well designed the way you get into the
Mm.
system. I will agree with that. But in terms of a thing actually working, I don't think I've ever had an issue with,
I'm
when
very
you get the
surprised that you
party
think
set
that
up. That
The
it's-
PlayStation chat.
Yeah.
Oh God, it's horrible. I agree with Pat on this one. Sorry.
Horrible in what sense though? Like
Because
I've been using it for the last
maybe it's
couple
a
of
crap.
years.
Off a dongle, it does happen. That type.
No, but and I've seen it, but I have seen it happen to people. Like when I can hear everybody bar that person, and they've had proper internet, and I've seen that
Yeah.
happen a few times.
Yeah, no, that is.
I still don't-
I understand that. Like that has happened, but not
Yeah.
to the sense that it's unusable.
I don't think.
But-
I think it's a big statement to say that they're bringing Discord in to outsource their chat platform. Like
No,
I
I'd
think
say
that's
they're
a
not for
massive
that.
statement.
It's-
Huh?
I'd say it's just more for people who want, if they prefer Discord, could use
Yeah.
it. Like,
And again, Discord. Sorry, Pat. Work away.
like I was just going to say there, like I'll admit that the PS4 lobby system, like actually getting people in and chatting with them, I thought that was super easy, very easy to get straightforward. PS5, it's not as simple. That's just what
Okay.
my experience so far
I
has
totally
been.
agree with that.
It's PS5, even its UI in general is so confusing
When it
I-
comes to that, yeah. And the reason why I think one of the things on PS5 is similar on the PS4, a similar look and a similar thing you did on the PS4. It's different on the PS5. It's literally the main way that you get into party chat. Like you see this kind of black box with the chat in it on PS5, and that would have been an ad for a game on PSN on the PS4. Does that make sense?
It's not even that. It's like, you know how when you press the PS button, it's like the wee small bar at the bottom, like it
Yeah.
has all the functions on it.
Yeah.
Like I didn't even notice that for a while. It was that small, in all honesty. And I have a pretty big TV. It's like 42 inches, so I should be able to
Hey.
see this.
Really?
But
Bad for
I
gamers.
couldn't freaking see it.
I totally agree with that. The UI is not. its best point.
Yeah, like when I was trying to turn my PS5 off for the first time, it was like, "Where's the power button on the system? I can't find it."
I did get
actually
that. The first day I had it, I had the same thing. I couldn't figure out to turn it off for about 10 minutes.
It's really confusing, so confusing.
But do you actually think that they've brought Discord in here to outsource their spot, like to chat?
I agree with Pat. I think you can use it. I think, but again, if you're integrating Discord, like Discord is more than just chat. Like Discord is you might be able to get video chat going on your PlayStation now. You might be able to get like all these other sorts of things going if you have the Discord app.
Unless they're
Like
going for
your-
the
But everything
social
is
thing,
so
I just don't-
limited on PlayStation 5. I can't see them just adding the whole app and creating communities.
I
and-
honestly just think it's for cross chat between PC and
yeah, I think they are just going to use the
and
chat.
mobile
platform.
and PlayStation. Maybe can't see it like next generation or this generation is going to focus on more, and we're going to see a lot more games cross-platform. I can honestly think it's going to be a lot more than used to. Well, not,
Oh,
that,
yeah,
not, that-
I-
not that
I
that's
think
hard. Not
regardless
that
of
that's
what
hard.
it is, it's super handy.
Yeah, well, it's super
You
handy.
You don't
It's
have
super
to go
annoying.
jump on to PlayStation to have a chat. Like you can just literally chat
Like
with your
John's
friends,
video
even
there.
if they're-
Boop.
Yeah,
Boop.
even if they're just chilling on the PC, they can jump into Discord and chat away to you while you're
Yeah.
on the PS5.
Epic tried to do that as well, but they're on Fortnite, you could just jump into chat with anyone you wanted all the time. John, I have to say that your background works really well with our lava lamps.
Oh, yeah, there you
The
go.
purple works really well.
Oh yeah, it looks nice.
How about now? Am I floating with the
Yeah,
lava?
floating with the lava.
So again, more news from Sony. Sony is
Not Sony
apparently
news.
looking to release more than 25 PlayStation 5 games under its PlayStation Studios brand. Nearly half of them will not be sequels or spin-offs, according to Wired's interview with PlayStation Studio lead and former Guerrilla Games manager director Herman Hulst. He's had a good career, hasn't he?
Yeah.
That could theoretically be a lot more games than the 4 first-party titles we already know about, which are Horizon Forbidden West, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, God of War Ragnarok, and Gran Turismo 7. So that's quite interesting. We do need this from Sony, in
Yeah,
fairness.
Sony are doing a bit of
Um,
they're cleaning up the place a little bit because they are getting some bad press for a while. We said
Yeah.
they're coming out with all these statements and doing these different things to make
they're
things.
coming out with the statements now. If they're gonna,
Yeah.
if we're gonna have 25 games by this time next year, I'll be a little bit hesitant on that one. But
I think we'll get some
Yeah.
like footage
No.
of games maybe.
yeah, like
so-
in terms
say
of
this would be
Microsoft are
4
saying we're
years or
buying
so.
the studio, Sony are saying we're releasing games. Like I think Sony are a little bit behind this generation, to be quite honest.
I
Not
just
in
don't think
sales though.
I just don't think it's come out.
No, not in sales, but the
Yeah.
sales is different. They're going off the popularity of PS4, and
Yeah.
it's
Maybe their
difficult if
marketing
you
is
had it.
just not as much as Microsoft. Maybe Microsoft are letting a lot more statements out than PlayStation are.
There's just not really any games, though, is there?
No, and I honestly don't know why. Like maybe you can say COVID had an effect. Like
I don't like
but-
that statement. I think everyone comes up with that statement. So COVID's only been going on a year. These things develop over years and years and years and years. And COVID, the lag from COVID should be in 2 years, not now. Do you get me? Like things don't develop
But
that
like
quickly.
people would have been
It's an
working
easy
from home
excuse,
then.
all right.
Huh?
People would have been working from homes. Like you don't actually have like you're not in the work environment. You were actually at home when this was gone. Most studios were shut down. Like you can't go into work.
I
there.
get you, I
Everyone
But
was-
we're in a
understand that.
digital age
So
where you
that
can
would
work
slow
from
it down.
home on design. Like
What I'm trying
you
to
know?
say though is plans for games don't happen overnight. They're planned for years. So like if we only have been off for 1 year, they should still have a lot in development for next year, the year after that. Even if they weren't working, that'd slow down the process. But the plans are already still there. Do you get me?
But like even
Yeah.
without COVID, we were still getting loads of delays anyway. So like
Yeah.
yeah,
There's always delays. It's just, I suppose it's just the way it is. The way games are made these days, they're bigger and better and brighter, and maybe it's all about shareholders and stuff. Like they say a game's going to be released now, like they know they can always push it back, but like I don't know. I honestly I don't have an answer. It's
I think it's just, and this might be, the cruel truth that games that are released that are of a service are, a lot more profitable, and we're not getting as many single player, big experience that costs a lot of money to make, and developers know this. Like what do we have for PS5? We have exclusives that are coming out. What are the exclusives? Horizon, Ratchet and Clank, God of War, and Gran Turismo. What are the other ones that are exclusive
GTA
that are
5.
coming out?
Bloodborne 2.
Yeah. But you know what I mean? Like it's very limited on Sony's behalf. And with Microsoft, yes, there's limited games, but also the studios that they're buying up. We know that there's going to be games coming from these studios. When, we don't know, but I just think
But I don't think that. But if you can say that statement, you can say there's going to be games coming from Sony too. Like
Exactly, especially
no
with
way,
the news
they're
articles
saying
we're
they're not
reading
going to
right
happen.
now.
They're not going to stop making
Like
games.
apparently there's 25 new ones coming.
Like you're not going to stop making games.
yeah.
Like there's
No,
not. I think they're just not releasing as much information as Xbox are.
I think also the big thing to take away here as well, like when PS5 released, like the games that came out for that were like PlayStation exclusive games, or like they had Sackboy, they had Spider-Man Miles Morales, and they had Demon Souls. There's 3 big enough games there that came out in the same day. So like they've released quite a few exclusive games, just not exclusive for PS5 exclusively.
I get what you mean.
yeah,
I think we're suffering lag here with games.
bit of a lull.
I think it takes too long to make games as well, and that's another problem. And maybe there's not enough people in the industry. Is that would that be fair? Like a lot of people are talking to certain studios, and they're sticking to these service provided games where they're keeping.
I think PS4 had a lot more indie games in its first year that really filled the gap of having no, massive exclusives or a massive amount of them.
Maybe they need to start giving more time to the indies and let them on
the PS4.
platforms.
The start of PS4 was very supportive of indies. Like it, I think Resogun was the first game released on the system for free, and then there was a lot of indie games that came out that people really loved. But PS5, there's not that many, and maybe it is because we're still dealing with the whole PS4 being still powerful enough to play a lot of these games that we are getting a little bit of a mix of, this isn't PS5 exclusive. This can be playable on both platforms.
It just takes a very long time to make very big games too. Like it's a AAA game. I don't know how many years it takes. Was it 4 or 5 maybe? Make one game. It's a long time.
See, it depends on the circumstances. Like if, let's say you take something like that already has assets used from the previous game.
Yeah.
Like the development time then is shorter. It's if you're making a brand new experience from the ground up.
Which doesn't happen very often anymore. Let's face it.
No. It's probably going to happen a little bit with people making new engines for the PS5 in the studios, but that's like once they have their first engine built, the games come a bit quicker then. But
I'd say
I
it
think
takes
I'm excited for.
Sorry, back on.
Just on an exciting side, a lot of these games aren't sequels, which I'm very happy about. That they're saying
that's
they're
nice
saying
to
more
see.
than half of them are like brand new IPs, which is wonderful to see. Because I felt like Sony was slowly distancing themselves away from new games and just going to focus on their big names.
Yeah.
Just from recent
I think
things.
it's very
like
hard for them kind of games to get green lit. That's the problem. Is like they know when stuff works, it's very hard for them to divert away from it. It's the same as movies or anything that they're going to keep going whatever's making money. Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Although I will say on that, and obviously they do make more money, and I agree with you, Paddy. But like basically any big proper single player game that comes out does make a lot of money though. Like if we look at Resident Evil 8, but I get you, it doesn't make as much as
no, I don't mean
again that last 3 years.
I kind of don't mean that. I mean like they find it hard to greenlit new things because they don't know. Do you know, like a new story, a new IP, they don't know if it's going to make money more.
That's same with movies. They adapt everything.
That's what I mean. That's all I kind of mean. I don't mean the other way.
Yeah, but look what Anthem did. Like that was greenlit and it just fell apart, and
it's very
so
hard, especially if you got shareholders like Ronan there. You know what I mean? It's very hard to.
yeah. I've shares in the CD Projekt. I bought them cheap now while they're in the bin. But they're coming back, guys. Witcher 4 is coming. Stock's going to rise.
That's it. You probably never see Cyberpunk again. You'll never see another Cyberpunk game ever. Ever.
Hopefully not.
I want a Back to the Future game. Let's make that game. Come on.
Yeah.
Do it.
Go anywhere.
Go anywhere. Do whatever you want. Cyberpunk.
That's not trying to do too much at all. Come on, CD. You can do it. Any era of time. That'd be some game, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd play it.
Yeah. Give it a go.
Or just do the trilogy. I just go with the original story.
That'd be cool. Wasn't there a Back to the Future game though? Telltale, no?
There was. There was.
It wasn't a Telltale game. I think it was.
Are Telltale games real games?
I think it was Telltale. I could be wrong. I think it was Telltale.
They went bankrupt, didn't they?
Yeah, they went down the shitter.
But somebody bought the developers. Like there's still people making certain games along those lines, is there not?
I don't know.
I think when Telltale went into the bankruptcy, people kind of went, ugh.
It was a telltale sign. Jack
this
is
year's
back.
all digital E3 will have both an app and an online portal offering visitors virtual booths, communal lounges, leaderboards, and more. This is exciting, guys, because E3, it was kind of, it seemed like it was kind of a little bit phased out the last couple of years, or downsizing, as they say. But what do you think it is, having its own app and just being able to jump on and
Yeah,
future, isn't it?
I mean, it's a bit more complicated than just doing it on. And I know there'd be more features and stuff like what they're saying, the booths and the communal lounges and the leaderboards and whatnot. But like the fact you have to download an app to watch E3, I get it. It's completely so they can do all the stuff in house, and they'll probably have advertisements on it, make a little bit of money on it,
Drop cookies on you.
Get your information, send it to the whoever.
Start advertising games to you.
But no, it's good. It's good. I am not on the side of a developer or someone who needs to be in there, needs to be on these things. I just want to watch the games when they get released. So I would personally just prefer to be on Twitch or something.
Yeah.
And it's not going to be on Twitch. It's a pitch. It's not
You need to
YouTube.
download the app. I have no idea. Apparently, you have to download the app, Eddie.
So confirmed via the official E3 website, the online portal was created by Game Cloud Network HCL Technologies, with the company hoping it will serve a key hub for fans. Media access to the online portal will open on June the 7th, and public access will follow on June the 12th, with visitors able to register to attend the event for free later this year. I think that was year at the end of that. Word there, guys. So I'm making that one up. As for what fans will find when logging into the online portal, E3 promises to have virtual booths, communal lounges, hosted events, online forums, and more. There will even be leaderboards, which the company claims will show elements that can be collected and displayed, seemingly incentivizing visitors to interact with as many different elements of the event as possible. So basically checking out how much interaction with the app, and look at it's
different.
Yeah, it just seems like, I'll definitely download it. Be nice, like you can just be anywhere and jump on and see what's happening on the
it seems to come around so quickly all the time, doesn't it? It seems like we're doing E3s all the time. It's just me.
Yeah, the buzz for it has got less and less over the last couple of years.
Maybe you're just getting older.
That's just simply like
no, oh god, no.
E3 was cancelled last year though.
I won't accept that.
Still old.
E3
He's still old.
E3 wasn't on last year though, was it not?
Wasn't it?
No.
No, it was
something
cancelled.
on.
And then the year beforehand, like loads of people pulled out as well. So like,
yeah, it's
Sony pulled out, didn't they?
Again, I know why it's there for investors and all that, but as Johnny sitting on his freaking computer, I'll watch the trailers afterwards. I don't need to sit through the event.
Yeah.
Times have changed. Like that was a dream of mine to go to the live event, and now it's kind of like, I'll just watch it.
But E3 shot themselves in the foot as well. I'm going to say it. 80% of what you see at E3 is absolute bollocks. It's always pre-rendered trailers for things that aren't going to they're out later this year. What you saw wasn't actually the game, and it's actually out 2 years from now.
Yeah, I hate
so
that.
E3 is 80% bollocks anyway. So I've never been a massive fan.
What they usually do is just like cancel E3, wait like a year, and then rename it something else and bring it out again. Just create hype again.
3E.
It's literally a hype machine. It's literally just a hype machine. That's all it is.
They probably get paid. That's probably what it is. Sony probably have to pay them, and these people
it's
put
nice
it together.
to be hyped, like, do you know what I mean? I'm not like.
I'd rather not to be lied to.
Hyped.
I'd rather not to be lied to. I'd rather them actually show me the footage when they have something and show me what I'm getting.
If you're watching E3, we're coming after you.
A Microsoft exclusive, world exclusive.
World exclusive.
Too old for gaming exclusive. Live.
Sony considering reboots for its classic franchises, working on Secret Super Game.
Sega.
Sega, yeah.
Sega, not Sony.
Sega. Sony in the head. Sega, sorry guys. Sega's financial results reveal that the company is examining some of its older franchises to potentially remaster all games and even reboot them.
Like what?
What games are we thinking, guys?
I'm guessing fighting games. Sonic?
List here.
Sonic, yeah. I think Sonic
let's
might
do it
be
again.
rebooted, isn't he? Like, sure, like they got rid of Roger Craig Smith, who was the last voice actor for Sonic there for like over 10 years. So there's a possibility that they might reboot
Isn't
it.
the voice actor for the film has not come back either?
Oh no, I think I'd say he is.
I thought I seen something. Was that the second? Maybe it's the second film. He's not after the second film. He's not coming back or something. What? So what are they making their money off right now?
Probably like Yakuza, Persona, Sonic,
Football Manager.
Did
Football
Sega
Manager's
do
probably the
Football
best one.
Manager?
Yeah, well, they used to. They might. Sorry,
No,
that's
I
for
think
me.
you're right, John.
Buying it years ago. It used to be then.
Virtual
They
Fighter.
actually give you some examples there and there. Jet Set Radio, Crazy Taxi, Knights, and much more.
Yeah, well, they're the older like Dreamcast
Crazy
games
Taxi
that
would be
sort
good.
of.
Crazy Taxi.
Crazy Taxi is fun.
Yeah. Just Sonic. Come on, let's just do it. Sonic and fighting games. What Sega fighting games was out?
Yeah.
Virtual Fighter's coming out.
Virtual
is it not?
Fighter. Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, like they've been showing like new. There is a new one actually coming out, and they've been showing like DLC for it. I think it's not DLC, but the character's coming. Sorry. Jesus.
I was like to show the DLC first.
Sega Smash Brothers. There you go. All the characters from Sega basically rip off Smash Brothers. You're welcome, Sega.
Perfect.
They
You're
probably
welcome.
ripped it off from
But,
Sega. Let's face it.
But like Sega has been doing exceptionally well with some of their games. Like the Yakuza franchise itself is exploded in popularity.
Again, I
They
just
just
checked
need
there
to
as well.
drop a
so much.
console. Just blow it out of our new console. Here we go.
Right.
Sega Master
cool.
System.
Like if they did,
What a
drop
great name.
console, I could possibly switch over to
No,
it.
they
'cause they
call
have
it
such great games.
They call it something like the Sega Orca or something. You know, Sega.
The
It's
Sega
something weird.
PlayStation Xbox X.
Yeah, it couldn't be any worse than Microsoft. Oh.
The Sega Master System RSR 4. I don't know. I want to see a new. I know we're just going on this. I want to see a new console just come out of the blue. I just want to see Nintendo and that shit themselves.
They
Just
tried
wanna see
that.
some-
It was called the Ouya. Remember that?
Alex, come on, someone has to do it. Facebook can do it. I bet you Facebook could do it. They could just come out with their own console. They have enough money. Facebook's going down the shitter, so they just need to do something. Just come out with a new console.
Didn't technically Google try it and failed miserably?
Google try and fail at everything. Google, if you're
They-
listening, I'm sorry.
What about KFC?
To be
I've got
fair,
shares in you.
They're
To be
literally
fair,
they're here.
the Google Stadia just failed because it had a completely ridiculous subscription
I
model.
don't think
anyway.
Stadia is over, John.
It's probably not, but it's still. I like regardless of whether it fails or not. Their original thing that they came out with that subscription model is one of the stupidest things I've ever seen, and that's one of the reasons why it failed.
But doesn't that boil down to experience in the field?
Yeah, sure, yeah.
Yeah,
Like you can't just jump in and create a console in a very, very difficult environment.
Yeah, I know we've done
I
enough
mean,
ranting about that
like
shit.
they've gone on to say like what was the thing that they're going to lend out the technology behind Stadia
Yeah.
Yeah.
rather than actually continue on doing
Which
it
makes sense.
themselves. So like, if that doesn't spell our console failed, I'm not sure what does.
Yeah.
But where's
sure,
the
but-
console? Is it like in their office? Was there a console?
Yeah,
Was there a
it's
controller? I don't
the
get it.
game and
It was just
platform.
it was a
It's a
controller,
cloud.
and yeah, exactly. It's up there.
It's up there with
there.
Xbox
Jesus.
Cloud, right beside each other, going Xbox going. We're doing okay. There's a little brother going.
It was their arrogance as well, though. Do you remember that freaking tweet me
Doctor
man did?
Arroganto.
The freaking thing where he was like talking about how people who are streaming games, they should always get done for copyright and stuff, even though his platform had infrastructures for streamers. Like they had stuff built into Stadia, or don't even know it came to fruition. That was supposed to be like, oh, and now you can stream straight to YouTube and blah blah blah. And they actually had stuff. And the head of the company tweeted a thing being like, well, I think if people stream games, it should be always copyrighted, and I don't think streaming should be a thing. And it's like, do you know what you're making? Do you know what product you're actually
you can
making?
see someone else in the background. No.
Yeah.
I just
Do not send that.
Why do we always send out the village idiot?
Why is the CEO never into gaming?
Yeah, it was like one of the. It might have been the CEO, but it was one of the higher up people who did
Yeah,
that.
that's you all have mobiles, right? It's very
Yeah.
similar, isn't it? It's just
Yeah,
like
mobiles, right? Is there some sort of belated April Fool's joke, whatever it was?
yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Xbox,
stuff, but,
the cloud is taking off though, isn't it? Everyone's loving it. Same
yeah,
thing.
Yeah,
yeah.
they're fluffy. They're up there high in the sky. They're great.
I think the thing about that is it's you have the option of using disc, download,
They
or
offered
streaming.
it to me to try it on my phone, but I never did. I must try it. The old Xbox Cloud.
Yeah, and the PlayStation on PS now, it works really,
Yeah, it's
really
good.
well.
It's good if you. I when I was using, I downloaded the games though. Just
Yeah,
for
I had to
using.
download it. Like, it wouldn't be good for me, but that's my internet.
I was playing the Avengers on it actually. believe
What's
it or
that
not.
like?
I know I'm probably going to get a lot of hate for this, but I kind of like it as a superhero game. I
That's
mean,
fine,
they
I've
all
never played
control
it.
completely differently. They all control like they do, and you know, they've got superpowers.
I'm sold. We're playing right now.
Yeah, it's
Do you know,
good. Check it out.
lads, how much he's dying for
think a lot of-
Tarkov to wipe just before we move on. Come on.
Oh,
man.
I'm with you, Penny. Sorry, I don't know why it took me
Yeah.
so long to say that, but
It's
yeah.
been
Do
6
you want
months.
to say something, Pat, about Avengers?
Avengers, yeah. I think the big problem people had with that game was it just became too repetitive too quickly. Like everyone seemed to enjoy most of the combat between the differences in all the heroes. It's just that there wasn't enough variety gameplay wise with them to keep people around long enough. I think that's the biggest criticism. I don't think people actually hate the game that much.
I've heard a lot of hate around the game.
Disappointing.
But yeah, no, I think yeah, and I think you're right. But like the problem with games like that as well, Pat, they are grind fests, and when you know, like people will put in massive amount of hours, and then they pass the main storyline, and then they're going on to the end game, and then the end game isn't as good, and then you know there is that kind of sense of there wasn't enough content in the end game. But in terms of the new character that they brought in, the story that you get to experience, I'm really liking it, I have to say. It's a game that I sit down with the kids, play it, and just have a lot of fun playing it. Like, I'm not expecting to be blown away like The Last of Us 2. It's a superhero game at the end of the day. It's good. It is
like
good.
Chewy Sweets.
Yeah, I do. What chewy sweets are there?
They're Paddy's Penny Sweets.
Oh, here we go. Okay, yeah, sorry, yeah. Segue. Hey, Patty. Well, hey, Patty, what are you eating there?
What
They
are you
look
eating?
delicious.
I mean, Paddy's Penny Sweets don't have a label on this one.
Is this an Amazon venture?
No. There we go. Paddy's Penny Sweets, baby.
Facebook venture.
That is unbelievable.
It's a worldwide venture. Now, right?
Give us the rundown. What flavors?
There's what do we have here? There's like cherries, just cherries.
Ooh.
You got snakes. You got
brings me
rings.
back.
You got every chewy you want.
Hold on now. Is this consuming your own stash? Is that what you're doing at this moment?
Yeah, don't get high in your own
I'm not
supply. Penny.
advertising.
Are you eating your own product?
I'm eating it right now. Just to tell you how beautiful it is right now.
You've got to get a model in to do that for you, Paddy.
Hey,
You're gonna...
hey, I have a model. Paddy's
Where can
Penny
you
Sweets.
get Paddy's Penny Sweets?
Well, yeah, on the right now, the website's launching in a couple of days, but right now you can message me on Paddy's Penny Sweets on Facebook and get it bag. We're doing 1 kg for $12.99. There's a lot in 1 kg, so grab it.
Woo.
There's loads.
Nice. Well, best of luck with it, and I'll definitely be checking it out.
God, I miss penny sweets. And I mean, like when they were freaking. Remember when you could go in with €1 and get 100 sweets?
Oh, man.
What a mad
I was
time!
only
What a
talking about-
mad time!
I was only talking about, used to go down and I used to wreck the poor young one's head that used to work in the shop. Poor woman, like she was there, one of them, you know, after school working there for the 4 hours in the evening, walked down with a fiver in absolute change.
Give me 500
No, and then
sweets.
we used to be able to go and do it yourself. You used to be able to fill the bags up yourself.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I just piled them in. And back then there was no weighing scales. No weighing scales. So you say to her, there's a fiver worth there, love. You count it. You enjoy it. And she'd get through a couple of them and she'd like, oh, bloody just take it. you get me €20 worth for a fiver. Goddamn weird.
Yeah, and then they started doing the you know the pre-bags.
Yeah.
And then you're like, no, I don't like the sweets in that
I
bag.
want to make my own. Thank you. That's why I went to Paddy's Penny Sweets, because the name is just nostalgia. It's just nostalgia.
Yeah,
And it just rolls off the tongue as well.
It does,
Very
yeah.
alliterative.
It is. Yeah.
very good.
Yeah.
Best of luck with it.
Cheers.
So, topic of the week, guys. This was one that we kind of talked about for a couple of weeks, but it's been a while. Best video game sequels. It's an interesting one.
Resident Evil 7.
Yeah,
It was, yeah.
yeah. Resident Evil 2. Let's go around. So let's do a kind of a round table and just have a bit of a discussion on a few big sequels. Pat, what are you thinking? Best sequel?
This is a hard one because there's so
Persona
many
5.
games that
Yeah.
come to mind.
Persona 5.
Yeah, that
One of
is
the
like
best.
one that comes to mind immediately. Like it's easily up there as one of my favorite games of all time. But I've already spoken way too much about that game. So I'll speak about a different game for once. I want to say one of my favorite sequels from one of my favorite series is Ratchet and Clank: A Crack in Time, which is the final one that was like the sort of the future saga of the Ratchet and Clank games, where it took a more sort of story-driven approach, and it just really worked out because it felt like the game was sort of maturing with its audience at the same time when I was growing up, and it was just so interesting to see. how it evolves from the original games, which were more sort of comedic humor, to getting to the future series, which was more story based and driven. And like the gameplay as well, though, like it's tip top. Like it's the best Ratchet and Clank had been at the moment.
Yeah.
And like they offered in so many new things, like Ratchet's hover boots, which just made mobility so much more fun, and platforming in some areas just a great joy to behold. And it probably has some of my favorite Clank missions with the time puzzles, which are actually can be quite challenging and can spend a lot of time on them. So I did, but they were just so good. They were so well made, and the mechanic that was used for it just made Clank probably just so much more usable as a character for gameplay purposes wise, because most of the time his mini games on the offside were a bit lacking. But this was the first time I felt that Clank was like, wow, this could be a game by itself. So like they really went hard on it. Like even the open sort of world spaceship battles they had, where you could go from planets and actually land on them from the map, was really cool. They did so much with it, and it's just such a good game. Even like the acting in it was done exceptionally well. Like I cried at that game. I won't say what I cried at because it's a spoiler, but I cried hard. I was like, holy crap, I can't believe they did that. And then like they went to the ending of it, and I was happy as a Ratchet and Clank fan. Like if the series had ended there, I would have been freaking ecstatic. That was a great way to end off the series if it had been. But luckily, it didn't end. We're getting more games. One's coming soon. I can't wait. I'm super happy. But yeah, Ratchet and Clank Cracking Time. It's June. It's coming out.
Yeah, I was actually just going to bring that up. Pat. That looks gorgeous.
Unbelievable, doesn't it?
Yeah, that is mind-blowingly gorgeous. And, you know, I was giving off about single-player games and not being enough of them. I'm actually really looking forward to that one, because Ratchet and Clank, the one previous to that, I know there was a lot of controversy around what they changed in the story.
Yes,
but
there is.
But as a game that's just fun to play, me and my son played it, cleared it, absolutely
I feel like I'm
loved
missing
it.
something out here. I've never played Ratchet and Clank game.
Neither have I, Paddy.
I want to play it.
I'm with you, Paddy. I'm with you. I've never
just
played it.
On riffs apart, because there's actually something I really want to mention, because we didn't get to talk about it when the trailer was shown last week or the week before.
It was last Thursday, I believe.
Yeah,
I missed
one
it,
thing
so it probably was last week.
that has me super ecstatic. Something that they went back to with the original games is that like little cutscenes actually have animations. Like one thing that I have hated about some of the Ratchet and Clank games is that when you come up to a character, the interactions is like completely stiff compared to like the original ones. So this one here, from what I've seen so far, the gameplay that was shown, it looks like they're going back to that sort of mentality where it's going to be more fluid in animation and have more life. And if that's the case, like, god damn, I'm all on board. Sign me up. I will buy this game. Even though I was buying it beforehand. But yeah, it's oh man,
it's a bit oversold.
Man, it's like I don't know, like there's nothing that I can use to describe it. Like maybe
there's a game coming out that you're that excited for. Like, I wish there was a game that I was that excited for coming out.
Yeah, no, I'm excited for that one as well. Like, and to the guys that haven't played it before, what I really find intriguing is the selection for a platform game that's very similar to, you know, a Pixar movie, very similar to Crash Bandicoot. What I really love about it and what kind of changed it up so much is the weapons that you use. Like, they're so varied, and there's a weapon that will do something absolutely ridiculous and you'll be like, holy crap, this is awesome. Do you know what I mean? And you just want to use that weapon and upgrade it, and then something else will come around the corner and you'll be like, oh, wait a second, this is even better. Am I right, Pat?
Yeah, I can't wait to see what the new Rhino is going to be. Like, you know, that's been the big gun throughout all the games. Rip you a new one. Like, that gun's, like, freaking ridiculous. Like, the last one, which was, I think, the last Rhino they had was in A Crack in Time, which played, like, Beethoven music in the background as you fired off missile machine gun bullets and everything under the sun with that just one weapon. It's ridiculous, but it's so satisfying.
Yeah, no, it is.
Oh.
It's a really good aspect of that game that each gun is essentially a new mechanic. It's very, very interesting.
Games is
there?
Oh,
there is
lots.
I'd say about 12 or 13.
There's so many.
Didn't
PS Vita have a couple? Was it PS Vita or?
Let's see. You have Ratchet and Clank. You have Ratchet and Clank 2, Ratchet and Clank 3, Ratchet and Clank Deadlock. You have Ratchet and Clank Size Matters. You have Secret Agent Clank. You have Tools of Destruction. You have Quest for Booty. You have A Crack in Time.
Quest for
you
Booty.
have Quest for some great names here. Full Frontal Assault. You have all for one. I can't remember exactly the name for that one. You have Into the Nexus, and then you had the remake of the original there in 2016, and then you have Rifts Apart, which is 14 games altogether. And if you count in the like trilogies that were remastered, you have your Vita version, you have your PS3 version.
Yeah.
I play Ratchet and Clank nearly yearly at some point.
They're all
usually go
good though,
back to
aren't they, Pat? There's no
Oh.
like stinkers, is there?
Well, the sort of spin-offs like All for One and Full Frontal Assault, see, they were more sort of multiplayer based. So like when you're playing it single player, you can feel that it wasn't really.
So it was
the idea
using the
they're going for.
franchise to kind of stretch a little bit more money out.
Yeah, and also like size matters. It's hit or miss. Like
Which is the one that it was like
a,
almost open world when you were like flying out of in kind of the universe, you were going to different planets.
Cracking Time.
That's
Cracking Time is the one
brilliant.
where you could.
I played that on Vita,
it's like
I think.
it's you probably played it through what's it called? Like that how you can do it through the PS4 to your PS Vita. Would that be it?
Remote play?
No, sure, it's PS3. Remote play. Yeah, because Cracking Time is the only one I can think that has that. Like,
And it wasn't on Vita, is that what you're saying?
Cracking Time wasn't on Vita, no.
Okay.
Full Frontal Assault was, but I don't remember it having flying missions. But,
I just remember the flying mission and thinking this is really cool. Like it's very kind of open and different to what I remember Ratchet and Clank being.
Are you thinking about the original games where one of them has actually like open segments?
It
where you
possibly
fly
was
around
the
and
original
blow stuff
games,
up?
that I was playing on Vita. Yeah, brilliant games.
Oh,
Brilliant games. Lots of different mechanics.
I'm surprised you haven't played it, John. To be honest.
I haven't played any Ratchet and Clank game. I've never played a Jack and Daxter.
What I will say, and you may disagree with this, Pat, but as somebody that may experience it for the first time, play the remake is what I'd recommend. If you want to
get a feel for the gameplay, yeah.
I'm probably going to go straight to the new one because I'm definitely going to get that as well because it looks amazing.
It's
also if you really want to challenge John, because I know you like challenging games. The original Ratchet and Clank is a hard game, so it is. Like the last final boss fight, like I still play that every now and again when I do go back to the game, and like I still get killed a lot. Like I mean a lot. Like it's savage how much I get killed. It's sad how much I get killed with how much I play that game. It's it's a hard.
Is all the storylines intertwined or is it?
It's continuous, except for the remake that came out.
They can play around though because it's
reimagining.
Time is like obviously one of the main.
It sounds like nearly as long as Kingdom Hearts kind of stuff.
No, it's not as confusing as Kingdom Hearts.
No, it's definitely not.
It's
more.
Yeah, they can actually fit. They could fit the reimagining of the first game within the Rifts Apart because of the different dimensions.
Yeah,
I could see that possibly playing a part.
Right. Sweet. That sounds like interesting enough. I'm glad it's coming out for you though. You're very, very, very excited about it, which is great. I think loads of people are
so excited.
Another sequel. Let's hear about a couple more sequels.
How far back are we going? Like, whoa,
I'm just going to throw out a few that need to be mentioned. I think one of my favorite sequels anyway to ever be released, I think, is Red Dead Redemption 2. Like it was mind blowing that you could come out so strong after the original masterpiece. Well, technically, it's not an original, isn't it? The first Red Dead Redemption.
There's Red Dead Revolver.
No.
Yeah. It's a little bit tricky though. I don't think it was. I think it was a different developer, was it? Or
and a different
still
character.
Rockstar, I think, wasn't it?
I think there's. I think there was two developers on the. Let me check.
Yeah.
How many Red Dead games was there?
I think there's three. You have Red Dead Revolver, Red Dead Redemption, and Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yeah, technically it's still a sequel anyway, even if.
I remember Red Dead Revolver. That was very good. That was very much about dueling and stuff like that, wasn't it? There was a lot more dueling in that one than there was.
Did you use the gun or something in that?
It was Rockstar. By the way, it was Rockstar and Capcom. I knew there was like a two. I remember there was like
you had to do is it Quick Eye or something like that there? Remember it used to slow down and you used to have to hit the
Red Eye, whatever.
Red Eye, yeah. You have to hit the pinpoint and then you shot and go do do do. It's good.
Class.
I agree. I enjoyed it. I know some people say people hate the mechanics of it, but I didn't mind it at all. It just reminded me of Grand Theft Auto on horseback.
When you're used to those sort of mechanics, I think again, I completely get the argument of like Rockstar haven't changed how characters really move and stuff in like years, and it's always kind of the same. But at the same time, I don't really find it that finicky, and I'm kind of used to it by now. I know how these
Arthur.
characters move.
It's very weighty, like, and
Yeah.
I kind of like that because when you're in a fight and it's really kind of, you're getting beat up in the fight, there is that feeling of weight to the character, and when you fall, you can feel that nearly through the controller. I was blown away. I just remember one of the biggest memories I have of that game is, I was playing here with my brother actually, and he was kind of checking it out for the first time. We had it on the big TV. And there was a mission where you're just on top of the mountains and literally the clouds are under you. And I was just like, this is one part of this game. Like it's insane the level of detail that's in that game that you really do need to just play it for hours and hours and end to really uncover the
I remember
whole,
when you first
whole
started
world.
playing it, you were just out hunting for the first weekend.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, the start of it is very like the Hateful Eight movie. You're up
Yeah.
in the kind of the mountains and in that cabin.
Don't you have a video of you, wasn't it a bear or something? That you were
Oh
fighting?
yeah. That video did really well actually.
Yeah.
Scared the crap out of me, but yeah, it's very, very good. I loved it. I have to say I loved it.
Oh, yeah.
It's the game that I'm actually considering going back fairly soon to replay, even just to experience a little bit of it. Because
I suppose it's been a while since you played it. It's probably one of them
yeah.
things you haven't played it in a while. You probably won't remember as much as you think you would.
a special
Yeah.
one though.
I'd love to go back and play it again, Ronan. I was actually already thinking about that myself.
Yeah, I might get it on PC.
Yeah, it could be worth PC to see their updated graphics.
Yeah.
The only thing is, I
So
find it
let's
very
keep
hard.
going.
I
More
find it very
sequels.
hard to pay top money for a game after you already bought it for top money.
Yeah.
you want
No,
to get it for,
definitely.
you want to get it for cheap.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's modern games, especially God of War is another one. But we've already
Oh,
talked about all
100%.
these. I suppose a lot. Like if I was go back, I always go back to the nostalgia. Would be SmackDown 2.
Oh.
I think.
Oh
Bring
yeah.
the Pain, was it, or
No, it's just SmackDown. It was just SmackDown 2, wasn't it?
SmackDown 2?
Was it? Know
They
Your
were
Role.
just unbelievable.
Was that it? SmackDown 2, Know Your Role. I think it was.
Yeah, I
I
think,
think
so.
you're right. Yeah, actually,
Yeah.
yeah.
That was a brilliant game. It was at the time WWE was in its Attitude Era, and what they did with this game, which I think a lot of games don't do anymore, is you developed through a storyline and you unlocked things in the game as you went along.
Yeah,
And not a
that's
lot-
really good.
Yeah, they don't do that anymore with games. You know what I mean? And you used to be able
You're
to
talking about like meeting a character and now that character's
now the character's
Yeah.
there, or getting a TLC match, and now you can play a TLC
Yeah.
match, and
Yeah.
they
Wow.
developed the storyline of real storylines that was going on in the WWE at the time, so you're really into it, and it was a brilliant game.
brilliant.
Brilliantly well done. And then they went gradually downhill after that, and I don't think they're making them anymore. Isn't it the last year they got cancelled this year or something?
Well, I don't know if they got cancelled. You know, Pat. I know the last one was a buggy,
2K.
absolute 2K.
2K
The
was
last,
developing
2K.
those.
Got
this one was a
wasn't it?
joke. The last one was an absolute joke because it was a buggy miss.
Okay.
What they've done recently, it was not a proper like WWE fighting game. It was more of like a party brawl game where it had
Oh,
like
yeah.
chibi characters. Like that was the most recent game. I think that
Yeah.
came out like last year actually.
Mhm.
But yeah, that's the last thing that was made for WWE game wise.
Have you ever played WWE again, Pat?
I played a lot of the WWE games on the PS2, and like I probably played from like 2006 all the way up to like
Yeah.
probably 2004 all the way up to 2008 because they were just so much fun. Like you'd create an abomination
used
of
to
a
create
character.
Yeah, the character creation
And-
is fantastic.
Used to be great friends with mates.
Character creation was brilliant.
Doing Hell in a Cell matches, doing cage matches, doing even all the old wrestling games. WWF Warzone. That was
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
That was on N64, and that
Oh,
was
that was brilliant.
Yeah,
No
wasn't it?
Mercy.
weapons.
Just
No
that's
mer-
going back a while.
No Mercy was Jeffrey. No Mercy.
No
Yeah.
Mercy, yeah.
It's great. Honestly, No Mercy is one of the best ones I've ever played.
That was
Even to this day.
WWC, wasn't it?
No,
WCW,
WWE.
Sorry,
No, no, no.
WCW, no?
No,
It
no,
was
no.
WWF.
WWE. Yeah.
The Rock.
Um,
With what's your man's name? Mankind and stuff.
Oh
like
yeah,
that.
Rock and Sock
Rock
Connection.
and Sock Connection. That was on the
Yeah.
cover, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Of that one. But them old game back then, it's probably my nostalgia kicking in. Why I loved them back then. There was a load of great games at the time.
oh,
I think Pro Evo was out at the time. Was brilliant then.
At that
was
time,
Pro
Pro
FIFA
Evo,
was
just
yeah.
because you said SmackDown, I remember playing that and Resi 2 around
That's
the
around the same time. All them
Yeah.
games
Yeah.
came out around the same time. There were
Yeah.
some brilliant games out around then.
So spoilt.
Yeah, we were definitely
Oh,
very
yeah.
spoilt with it. I think there was what else was I used to play? There was a 007 game at the time as well. Tomorrow Never Dies.
Yeah, I
was
remember
good.
That
that.
came out at the same time.
Yeah.
as well.
That was third
That was
person,
good.
wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was. It was brilliant.
Yeah, it was
Brilliant
good.
Games. All them games.
Was it third person?
Well, I could be
Am
wrong
I
there now,
thinking
but
of
I
the
know
wrong
one of
one?
them was third person. It may not have been that one though, Pat.
I think no. I think it's Tomorrow
It's a long
Never
time since
Dies.
I
You could
played
do
it.
blackjack and all of that now. Could yeah.
It's a long,
That was
long
my
time.
first. That was my first experience with gambling.
I've been hooked since.
I was like,
It's all
wow,
downhill
this
from
is so
there.
good.
It's all downhills from here. Well, that's
I'd say for me, just like I have a few ones that like you would always just kind of
Tarkov 2.
as with Tarkov 2 when that comes out, you know that's going to be up there. But no, like when Tarkov 1 has to come out. But anyway,
Never
Yeah,
coming,
it
Joe.
was,
It's
it was
never
third
coming.
person. 007 Tomorrow Never Dies.
Oh, well, I must be thinking of a different one.
I have a few games that like if you ask me on a different day, I'll say this is the best one. But for now, for today, I'm going to say I'll do two honorable mentions after just quickly. But like the one I'll pick is Fallout New Vegas. Like that is probably it's probably one of the best games ever made. Like legitimately, like it's a game I've played multiple times. Like I've probably played through that game at least 4 or 5 times. And it's never not fun. Well, the trick is to not play it again immediately. Wait a year or two and then play it again. But it's because, and I've said this before, and there's a lot of games that try and do what Fallout New Vegas was, and they fail. And I'm even going to include the Outer Worlds in that, or whatever it was, the one that was made by the people who made Fallout New Vegas. Because actually Skyrim was pretty good for it, but it was that feeling of I can do whatever I want, and you're not going to lock me behind that you can't do this. It's just you can't just do this mission anymore, or whatever you do will change how the story goes.
You can literally kill the main character of
exactly
the main quest character. So
the original, I mean, like the original Deus Ex, was the first game I've ever seen that in, which blew my mind. I had it on the PS2, and there was a bit where there was this guy, he was hyped up the whole time as this great boss he had to fight, but he was only a dude. And in my kid brain, I was like, well, I'll just shoot him with the bazooka. And I had this bazooka, and I shot him with the bazooka, and he just fell to bits. And I was like, that's brilliant. And there was another bit in that game where, like,
no health bar.
There was one bit where, like, you're negotiating with your brother, and I just shot him, and he died, and it was just like, oh well, now you're with now you're with the anti-terrorists won't stay out to you now, and now you're with this group. And it's just the game didn't end; it just stayed going. But that's the same with Fallout New Vegas.
That original Deus Ex was unbelievable,
amazing. Too bad it's not a sequel, or else I probably shouldn't be talking about it. But anyway,
the sequels ain't bad. Let's be honest, the sequels ain't bad.
Oh, sequels are great, but the Fallout New Vegas, it's just like, again, like stuff like Cyberpunk, and it's like when you see like even just the shooting the pedestrian or something, and they just look at you blank faced and go. And then you get swarmed by 50 million police officers and die immediately. You're like, how did they do this?
That's
so
a game
much
that
better?
came out in 2021.
How did they do this, like mechanics wise? How did they do this mechanics wise so much better in Fallout New Vegas, which was how many freaking years ago? But it's just like, it was complete freedom. You're out in the desert. Oh, here, man, I'm the biggest guy here. If you kill me, half the map is going. Like the NCR troopers. I remember I was with the NCR for ages, and like if you go into like any town in that place, the NCR are there.
Shout out to them.
And so the North California, whatever they are, army, I suppose, NCR, I don't know, regiment. But they're freaking, like, every town you go into has like an NCR barracks. And the last one I did, I was a bad guy, and I absolutely went on their bad side early. So like my experience this time was every time I went to a village, the NCR were trying to kill me, and it was freaking hilarious because they were like, "Get out of here! It was like, no, I need to talk to him. He's got a mission for me." And you had to be either kill everybody or try and sneak past them. Or
would you ever jump into New Vegas? Like, have you done it like recently and just kind of said, let's start a new character?
Yeah,
because I do that. But I honestly think the way you talk about New Vegas, I look at Skyrim that way. I know you've mentioned Skyrim.
Skyrim is probably the closest to it, and Skyrim is also fantastic.
I adore Skyrim.
Yeah,
like I really do. And you said something about, when you shoot somebody in Fallout Vegas, you feel like you shoot in Skyrim. When you have the bow leveled up, the camera will follow that bow straight into a headshot. Like that never gets old.
And the counter argument, and I completely agree with you, it's great counter argument to that as well. Not counter argument, but I suppose
Added.
with it
Yeah.
is in Fallout New Vegas, the VAT system.
Yeah.
The VATs where you go and you zoom in on the
Brilliant.
different body parts, and then you'll get the bullets coming, and it's kind of the same. And then if you get a headshot,
it's the
if you get a
same
critical,
mechanic, isn't it? Like essentially, it's just
their
guns
head will blow up
versus
if you get a
bows,
critical and stuff. It's I can't talk about Fallout New Vegas enough. I could be here all
Fallout's
evening,
amazing.
but it's one of the best games ever made. The ones that on a different day you asked me just really quickly, of course, and I think the reason why because we discussed talking about this a different weekend or a different podcast, and I think Aiden was going to pick from this series, not this game, but this series. But for me, Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater, one of the best games ever made.
One of the best games, yeah.
And
that theme tune alone.
Yeah. Actually, to be honest with you, I had another one, and it's actually Resident Evil 4. Is one of the best games ever made as well.
Yeah, Resi seems to be mentioned an awful lot.
Resi 4, I've probably cleared that game about 4 or 5. That's another game I had it when it was original. Then I had it on on the PS2. Then I had it on GameCube. I cleared it. Then they had it on the Xbox 360 store. Like the HD revamp of it. Cleared it again. Anytime I get my hands on that game, I clear it again.
So
awesome.
What are the worst sequels ever made?
The Darkness 2 was pretty bad.
Yeah, it wasn't great.
The first one I really liked.
That's a good question. I wish I had. What's a bad sequel that I played?
It's not a bad game, but
it's not as good as the original.
I'm gonna say Spyro: The New Beginning and like the Eternal Night, and I won't say Dawn of the Dragon.
Start rhyming off and this and that.
But just because it was so different from what the original games were and the games that came after the originals, it was Lord of the Rings, but Spyro the Dragon. They even got freaking what do you call his name? The fella that played Frodo played Spyro in it. Like that's how Lord of the Rings it was. They even got
Elijah Wood.
Elijah Wood, yeah.
I don't look like him.
But it was such a strange game because it turned from like a collectathon sort of platformer into a beat 'em up, which just was weird. And it rather than being
tried to become more adult.
It was this epic that made Spyro this, rather than a plucky dragon that sort of solved the mystery by himself. He was now this legendary purple dragon, and he could control all the
I feel like
elements.
you're going to go into voiceover mode here. Like coming this summer.
But yeah, the games weren't bad, but the story behind them and the execution of that story just felt like, this isn't Spyro the Dragon. Why are you doing this to him? Yeah. This is like Skylanders as well. Skylanders also terrible Spyro sequel because it's not actually a Spyro game.
Dead Space 3 was pretty garbage.
Never played it. I played 1 and 2. I actually didn't play 3.
Yeah, 1 and 2. 1 was a masterpiece.
Alien.
2 was very
fantastic.
good. What's that?
Your Alien game you didn't like. What was the one you said it was the worst game you ever played?
Colonial Marines.
Yeah.
Oh god. Yeah, that was just an original piece of crap.
Resident Evil 6, confusing, horrible nightmare of a game, I have to admit.
Didn't know what they were doing.
It's terrible. And not only that, but not only did they make like a...
Can't make them always good.
But they made it confusing on purpose, that you had to pick which chapter from which person you wanted to play. Like, I remember there was a rundown. It's like, if you want the story to make the most sense, do Chris A, then whoever A, then this guy, then...
What's that?
Leon B. Resident Evil 6, you had to, you could play, there was like 4 different characters you could play as. And you could do like Leon, you could do Leon's first chapter, and you could go straight into Leon's second chapter if you wanted to, or you could do Chris's first chapter before you did Leon's second chapter. It was up to you. Wow. So they made it really confusing. And then all the stories started to interlink. So depending on which way you played through them, how good it meshed up, and there was literal lists online of this is the best play. Do Leon chapter 1, then do Chris chapter 1, then do this person chapter 1, but then do Leon chapter 2 before you do this guy's chapter 1, and it was just like.
I can imagine like horrendous. Fast forward in a year from now, and we're probably taking the same topic again, and then Pat's like Ratchet and Clank
rips apart.
Oh, no. I have loads of sequels in my mind for the next time we do this.
For the next time. On the Republic of Players podcast. Eminem?
Batman Origins?
I didn't mind that.
It's okay. Like that's it. Like it was okay. Just it was a step away from the trilogy.
Evil Within 2. Hate it.
Evil Within 2, yeah.
I didn't mind Evil Within 2. I know you hated it. It wasn't as good as the first one, though. But I wouldn't say it was a bad game.
Maybe 'cause
I'm
of
going
time.
to say a controversial one. Soul Calibur 5. I did not enjoy that game at all.
yeah. I thought he was
uh,
gonna say like something we
I
love.
know a lot of people in the Soul Calibur community actually like that game, but for me, like it nearly killed Soul Calibur for me. I just did not find it fun
Good
to
thing it's
play.
not Soul Calibur 6 because that's like the best top-rated video on our channel.
Soul Calibur 6 is frickin' like Soul Calibur 6 was such a good rebound. Like that's if we're talking
the way
good
you're like-
sequels, that's a freaking good sequel.
Yeah, I'm back at man. Woo!
My God, like, Soul Calibur 6 is a freaking brilliant game, so it is so much fun. Like the gameplay again, it felt like it was fun to play again, which Soul Calibur 5 was sorely lacking.
Brought the
So
soul back
yeah.
into it.
Has anyone
Brought this-
played? And this is a game that does intrigue me, but I'm afraid to play it. And it's meant to have got better.
Minecraft.
Mass Effect Andromeda.
Oh, God, no.
Has anyone ever
Richard-
played it?
No.
It's strange, isn't it?
But I heard, like, even all the glitches aside and all the stuff, maybe that's fixed, but I heard it's just not great
It's
story-wise.
just not a good game.
That's what I heard.
There's a new one out today, isn't it? Is that tomorrow?
The
trilogy is coming out. The remaster, isn't it?
remastered trilogy.
Wow.
We
Oh,
both-
but I'd love
Speaking
to
of
play
good
it.
sequels,
Mass Effect 2 is
what a game!
fantastic game.
Fan
Best-
Jabby do.
Best Mass Effect game is Mass Effect 2, hands down. And the
Yes.
DLC, the Shadow
Brilliant.
Broker, all that. Not Shadow Broker. That was Power Broker was the show. But
Yeah.
it was, no, but the DLC was the Shadow Broker. He was basically the same thing. He was a shady businessman, and you had to go and find out about him.
Here's the third question: what sequel do you want to see that
Um,
hasn't come out?
Um,
That's a hard one, isn't it?
I'd love to see a sequel to Ratchet and Clank Rifts Apart. That's all I want.
I want another Grand Theft Auto before I leave this earth.
Bloodborne 2.
Bloodborne 2.
Oh yeah,
There you go.
Bloodborne 2, yeah.
Or just
Um,
re-release Bloodborne. Either do something to it, rejigger it on the PlayStation 5, or release it on PC so I can actually play that game on 60 FPS, please.
Or new DLC pack. New DLC.
Do you know what I think they should do in the Grand Theft Auto game? That you should be able to walk in to an arcade and play the original PlayStation 1 version in the arcade in Grand Theft Auto.
Should definitely be a thing.
That'd be
But
good.
That's a dangerous precedent, though, because years down the line, you could play an even more advanced one where you go into an arcade where you play Grand Theft Auto 6, and then that one you can go into arcade, which is playing the original Grand Theft Auto.
Would that
then
be
you're
considered
playing-
a great sequel?
Then you're playing
I think
3
so.
layers of game.
Where you don't play Grand Theft Auto, you
Um,
play Ratchet and Clank. Grand Theft Auto.
I mean, you
Actually,
could play
just-
Crash in Uncharted, couldn't you?
Something
That's
that
a great
has.
sequel. Uncharted 4.
Oh yeah, definitely brilliant. Actually, I think it's possibly my favorite. Like I'm still tied
It is my
between 4
favourite.
and 2, but 4 I think it does so much good. So it does
Yeah,
just so
I
much
loved
so
it.
good.
Loved it.
But talk just one sequel that's after coming to my mind that like is like my idea of a perfect sequel is Pokemon Gold and Silver and Crystal, if you count that one in, and then Soul Silver and Heart Gold, since they're all basically the same game. Those games are freaking incredible. They are the pinnacle of Pokemon for me. Like the fact that once you finished in the Johto
Offended,
region,
John.
you could just
Just left.
Too much Pokemon
Too
for
much
one man.
Pokemon is left.
Dude, Pokemon, you can never have enough
You
Pokemon.
must have got a new chair.
But
didn't you?
yeah, the fact that
Yeah, chair's nice.
that's a nice. I need to get a new chair. My chair is like so
He
small.
actually
You
got
guys
up
all
so we
have
could see the
these
chair. He
big
did,
chairs.
Yeah.
I feel
Lovely chair, John. Lovely chair.
Nice chair, John.
Talking about.
Your chair.
Thank you.
Is it new?
No, God, no.
Is it not?
No.
How have I
I've
not
had this
seen
chair
it
for
before?
years.
It's the first time I've ever seen them letters.
It's nice.
No,
It's the first-
I already had this chair. I had this chair in Kilkenny, lads. I had this chair. I've had this chair for years.
If
I
this
brought
chair
to
could
the last
talk,
event we were at.
this chair could talk.
Oh, jazz the stories.
it'd be
lads.
fucking sticky.
It'd be fucking sticky and wet.
So on that note,
It's a
Little bit
sticky
smelly.
situation.
it is good to get back to this, guys. I know things have been I know for me anyway, they've been a little bit hectic, and I missed out last week, and it is nice to
I think it's
just
the first time
get
I'm
on.
missing 2 weeks.
Talk about video games, and it's just we need to keep going and be here every week, and we're coming up to our 100th episode as well, which is really exciting, and we're going to be getting new some guests on, and we're going to have an absolute ball of a time coming up to the net. I think after the 100th episode, we're going into season 2, are we, Paddy? And really pushing it on to Spotify, and
that's it.
Just trying something different.
Try something good.
Season 2
coming to cinemas near you if they ever.
If you have
again.
any, things that you'd like us to do on the show,
like
please
the
let
lava
us know.
lamp?
We're definitely
I
open
like the lava
to
lamp.
changing it up and trying new things. But we'll get off, and we'll be back here next Thursday, same time, 9:15 at 9 o'clock, and we'll be talking about more video games, movies, whatever tickles our fancy. This week actually was stocks as well. We got a little bit of the stock market.
Ron, if you start me, I'll be talking about stocks, I'll be talking about UFC, I'll be talking about this, I'll be talking about that. There'll be no game at all.
Yeah, but look, that's what it's all about, having a conversation around our interest. So
that's it.
It's good. So we'll sign off. So Paddy, where can the good folks find you?
Whenever you see Buy and Play, whenever you see the Republic players, whenever you see Paddy Sweets,
Nice.
I'll be rhyming them all off. Not in sticking, right? We'll make it stick. We'll make the money. We'll be back. We'll put all the money back in. We'll be rich one day, boys, right? That's the way it's going to be. Thanks for joining.
You handle it, Tim.
Jesus, I can handle it.
You have to try it, don't you? There you go. What are you eating? Cherries.
I don't even know.
I
Eggs.
don't
I
even
love
know.
eggs.
Oh, I love eggs.
Oh, Jesus, huh? Brings me back.
Oh yeah. Paddy Sweets.
Gemma,
That's another reason to go to gaming cons. I'll be setting up them too. Hey.
Oh, Jesus, yeah.
Nice. John Fogarty, where can the good folks find you?
The good folks can find me at 2O for Gaming. That's TOOOLD for Gaming, all one word. They can find me over on YouTube at the moment. I'm doing a Resident Evil Village series. The third one will be up tomorrow. And I'm running around a castle with a big tall lady chasing me. It's great. It's like a weird dream I had once.
Yeah, be there.
Once
Great
in
content
every
creator.
week.
And over on Twitch as well, the same. And then if you want me for my socials, it's the same on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
Pat Curley, where can the good folks find you?
Well, if you're looking for me, you can find me over on Twitter under the handle of Pat Gone Mad with an or at the end of it. And if you want to see what I'm doing on YouTube, I've started doing things on my own YouTube, which is just Pat Curley, where I'm going to be doing comic dubs for Persona 5. So if you want to go see those,
Is there an or at the end of your name? I spelled it wrong then on your name.
on Twitter, there's an or because Twitter doesn't only takes.
I just
a
have
number
it got
of
Pat
characters.
Gone Mad and then your face, your beautiful head. So
Oh, my beautiful head.
I'm sure if they type Pat Gone Mad,
it's close enough.
I'm sure if it comes
It's
No,
up,
we'll
it's
get that
close
mad
enough,
lad called
Paddy.
Pat.
It's close enough, Paddy.
I'm sure it'll come up though if you type Pat Gone Mad. It'll just come up.
Oh
there.
yeah, it's close enough, man. It's grand. It's grand. Don't worry.
Sorry,
about it.
Pat,
It's
right?
grand.
I'm
Ha,
sorry.
grand. Ha, yeah, grand.
You
But
can
yeah, that's
find
all
me
right. That's where you can
over
find
on
me.
Twitch at the Alpha Fox TV. The next kind of big competition I'm doing is Digital Motorsport. The Irish sim racing organisation are holding a tournament coming up in the next 4 to 5 weeks. I've actually registered for it. I've been doing a lot of practice actually as well. I'm not streaming as much, just with kind of life has kind of got in the way a little bit, but I am playing games, and I'm playing a lot of sim racing, and I'm getting ready for that. So kind of that's what I'm kind of getting ready for. Also, my Fiesta is getting track ready for Mondello, and I'm going to be doing kind of a blog day or a vlog. Is that what you call
That's
it these days? Getting the car ready, bringing it down to Mondello,
Crashing
racing
it.
around, crashing it.
Setting it on fire.
That's just racing is kind of,
That sounds fun.
it's filled in a gap for me at the moment when games have come to a little bit of a standstill for me in terms of getting excited about new games coming out.
Because you're old.
Racing is really kind of
Whereas the
filled
8's
that
good,
gap.
Rodent. And I know that's your type of game.
No, I'll definitely check it out 100%.
And the wipe
John.
comes, like, you know what's happening.
Oh, I know, yeah. Yeah. That's why I'm just filling my time
better
with stuff
come
that I
soon.
like doing
It better
until that
come soon.
happens.
The factory expansion looks good, though. I'm looking
Yeah,
forward
yeah,
to
we
seeing.
never even
Oh,
talked about
yeah.
that,
It doesn't look
actually.
like Streets of Tarkov's coming anytime soon, boys.
No. So yeah, find me there and catch us here obviously next week, same time, same place. And if you do have any suggestions for the show, we're all ears, and we will catch everybody soon. See you later, guys.
See ya.